Today, class, we're going to learn how to get into SAMS and how to download our files for a project and submit that back to SAMS after we get done with the project, and then go look at the report afterwards and then fix what we didn't get right so we can resubmit it to SAMS. So first off, we need to go to SAM, and if you're in the classroom or you're in the library downstairs, you will have an icon for that. But since we're upstairs in the lab, there isn't one, so we're going to type in the URL and it's http www.cengage.com/SAM2010. And if this message comes up, just go ahead and allow, and it will take you to the login screen. Go ahead and maximize your screen like I just did, and then you'll put in your password and ID. Sometimes you'll have your own username, but you want to put in hopefully your email address for the college. So I'm going to put mine in, and everybody else put theirs in. Now, while everybody's getting logged in, I want to tell you just a little bit about this. When you change your password in the computer to get on the computer or to get into email, that doesn't necessarily change your password in SAM. So if you go back into SAM after you've changed your password, you still need to use your old password that you set up. It doesn't change until you tell it to. If this comes up, this means that you've just not logged out the last time you were in there, so we just click OK, and it lets us into SAM. Now, when we are going to our assignments, we need to go to SAM Assignments. I'm going to get into the student view so you can see my screen like you would see it when you're approaching it. Now, your computer screen is laid out with the first page of the assignments. You may need to go to the second page or the third page to find your assignment. So I just looked, and what we're going to look at today is on page 2. That's the Word Assignment Project 1. That is what you do after you have completed the first chapter. So let's click on there, and it keeps coming up and telling me to allow it. But now then, you see I have already used one of my attempts. The maximum number of submissions allowed for my classes are 3, and I've already used one. That's the reason I have a 2 here. When I go into this, I don't lose one of my attempts. No matter how many times I go in here, the only time I lose an attempt is when I click here and I put something in there and then hit submit, and it takes it. We're going to download our file to instruct us what we're going to do. So we're going to click on that, and you guys won't have all of these allow pop-ups, but I have them up here on the instructor's desk. So I'm going to save this. I usually tell my students to save it just simply because if they save it, then if for any reason they have to stop the project in the middle, they still have their file on their USB. So you want to go and save it to your USB. I'm going to save it in my documents, and I'm going to click save. Now then, I'm going to open this file because that's my instructions to work with. I'm going to move it over here to the side because I want these other 2 files. The first one is the file that you're going to be working with, and the second one is your picture that you're going to put into that file when it tells you to insert it. So I'm going to download this one first, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go ahead and save it in my documents. And if you're not sure where you saved it, you can click Open Folder so that you can see where it went. And if you notice, mine's in Connie Johnson, My Documents. Okay. Now, we want to download our file that we're going to be doing our project on. When we do that, we want to click Save. But when we come up with the box, we want to actually save it with everything the same, except the 1 on the end has to be a 2. So we're going to backspace and put a 2 there. That's so you can have it already in the form that the computer will take it when you go back to submit it to SAMS. It's looking for one with a 2 on the end. So now then, I'm going to open it. Now, always click Enable Editing so that way you've got all your tools and everything that will work. So we want to move this over so that it actually only takes up half the screen. Then we're going to go down here and click on our directions, and when they come up, we can actually grab them. If you notice, I'm using the blank space up here at the top. I'm just dragging it over until it pops up in that side of the screen. That way, I can scroll down, I can look at my directions at the same time as I'm working on my document. And of course, you would do an instruction and then you would scroll down and see what it tells you to do next. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and get out of both of these and show you what the finished product would be and how to submit it. And today I need to use my USB because I do have a finished product that I went ahead and worked on this morning. And I made a few boo-boos in there so that you could see what happens when you get your report back. And I'm going to go over here and go to the file that I saved. Now, this is the file that we saved, but I went ahead and completed it so you can see what happens. I went ahead and put it in there. When you looked at that file, you noticed that actually it has the 2 there. It does not have the .docx that your computer is saying that you need. See, you have a 2 docx. That is already on your file even though it's not showing. So when we put it in here, it's going to submit just fine. So I'm going to click Submit. And now then, I have used my second attempt, because when I go back over here and I look at that same spot, the same assignment, now you notice I have used one of my attempts. I went down to 1. So I'm going to click OK. Now, I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to look at the results because we want to know if we missed anything. So we're going to click on Results And hopefully you're not getting as many pop-up boxes as I am. So we're going to click on that. Now, to view the results, we need to change the report type to project. When we do that, then it gives us all the projects that we actually have completed. And we can click on the download file, and it will let us open it up and see what we missed. If you notice, it's always minimized. We can actually bring it up to as large as we need to see it. And if you'll see, I made 94 out of 100, and we need to know what I missed. So right down here, we can go down here and look. It says change the font size of the signature line to 22, change the font color to brown accent 5, and italicize the phone number. If you notice, it says the font should be italics. So we need to go back and redo that one section. So we need to go back over here, find our original file, and I need to go back to the folder. Yes, my documents. I need to go back to my computer and get over here to my removable disk. Can you tell, guys, that I'm just a little bit nervous about this? This is my second recording ever, so excuse me if I babble a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to go back to my assignment number 2. That's the one I saved. And I'm going to open it up. And I keep opening up the beginning file. So let me go back over here to the one that I saved. I didn't want it to save over the top of the beginning file, so that's why I have 2 different folders. If you notice, it looks like I have got it completed, but I don't have it on the same page as the one up above. The computer didn't flag it, so we don't have to worry about whether or not it's on that first page. We just want to go back and italicize the phone number that it told us to do. So all we have to do is click on here, click I for italicize, and now then we save our file again. Now then we can go back over and resubmit it. Once we resubmit it, then it should give us 100 because we fixed everything. So let's go back over here to Sam and go right back into the assignments. And we're going to go to page 2, and we're going to click on our assignment. And now then I'm going to click OK. And I'm actually going to go down here and browse and find the file that I just worked on. And now I'm going to submit it. Now then, it's used all 3 of my attempts, and you can tell that it got it submitted because it's got these green check box here. Now, when I return to Sam's, if I go to the results, it may or may not be there yet. So let's click on project. And now then we can see that both of those are there. So we want to use the one that's got the latest date and go back and look and see what we made on the latest one. So let's open it up. And now then, it still says I have 94. That's because I went in and I went to the file that I had just created, not the one that I corrected. So you want to be sure to not do that.